everybody, it is Michelle Poe here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I can't even begin to tell you how incredibly excited I am to be having a very, very dear friend of Shawn and mine on with us tonight. His name is Mr. Fred Graves, and Fred, where do I even begin? So many things I would love to say, and you know, if I were to tell you everything, it would couple down to just a great guy that is extremely passionate about what we have our hands on here, extremely passionate about his family, his friends, and our company, and just serving this world and making it a better place, and knowing again what we have our hands on, and making the world aware of this gift. So as I said, I'm Michelle Poe in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm super quick about me because tonight is about Fred. Shawn and I got introduced to this just over 6 years ago, and the girl that introduced this to me had no idea that my dad had died of a heart attack at the age of 42. She had no idea that Shawn and I were working 70, 80 hours a week, plus had an online business. Our two little girls living with us at home with a Spanish immersion teacher at our house, literally the definition of no time for another opportunity, no extra time to have with our children. She also had no idea that I had been personally battling massive health issues for over 5 years, going to Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, neurologists all over the country, not knowing what in the world was wrong with me, not knowing if I was going to be living literally another year or whatnot. So, you know, the guests that are on here tonight, please thank the person that invited you. We had no idea that this was going to be the greatest gift outside of our God and family, we tell everybody. And so sometimes you just don't know what's going to be here and why this fits in with your life. And just enjoy and listen and dig deep to what Fred has to say tonight. And we are assuming that you've seen the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And I know for me, when I first saw that, I'm like, what in the world just happened? Give me some more. Who knows about this? And here we are today. So as I said, Fred is an incredible guy with a huge heart. But I want you to know this as you're listening tonight. Fred is I would say in the top 15, maybe even higher in our company, out of 70,000 plus people in the world. So not only is he an outstanding individual, you are dealing with somebody here that is very well respected through our corporate staff and through all of us, and knows his stuff. So you are in for a treat. And Fred, instead of telling your story, I'm gonna let you do it because nobody can share it better than you. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. You guys, he has a house full of kids right now, and he stepped out to his motorhome to bless us all. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging this office away from the family. My office is a little too loud.
Yeah.
I appreciate you asking me to be on the call, and the mutual respect for you guys. So it's a privilege to be on your team call. But guys, what I love about this, I want to share my story as well. I feel like you know, anytime you hear of an opportunity, you're always trying to size up, you know, will it work for me? And I'm sure by this time you've realized that we've got a medical breakthrough technology. From a medical standpoint, you might be thinking, well, if I don't have a medical background, how am I going to benefit financially from it? I love Michelle's story. You see what caught her attention, obviously, was the medical end of it. Mine wasn't. And I'm going to share with you today a little bit of what caught my attention. Obviously, why we have an opportunity is the product, is the technology, and you're going to see why. But I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I grew up here in Tampa, Florida. I'm 36 years of age. I have 3 beautiful children and a beautiful wife. And, you know, my family grew up subcontracted for FEMA. So, you know, if you watch the Weather Channel or the news and you see an evacuation because of a hurricane or a tornado or an ice storm, we were the only morons heading that direction, right? After everybody was evacuating that way, we were going towards it because that's where we made our bread and butter. We were the first responders to get the city back up and running. And I grew up at a young age doing it, 9 years old, 12 years old in Hurricane Andrew. So I grew up passionate for running heavy equipment. It was very lucrative business for my uncles and my father. And at the age of 16, I was sitting around in high school, first semester, 10th grade, and my buddies were like, you know, what are you going to do in school? You know, what college are you going to go to? What sport are you going to play? You know, I'm ready to go to work. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I mean, what college are you going to go to? Because that's the mindset of the world. If you're going to go be successful in business, you got to have a degree, right? And I'm like, you know, that part's just not making sense to me. You know, it doesn't make sense to me to go to college, have a professor teach me how to run a business but yet that dude ain't running a business. So I took the theory in life, you know what, if someone has something you want in life, two things. A, it's doable because they have it. And B, if you do whatever they've done, you're going to get it. So I dropped out of school at 16. I didn't see myself fit going to school. Honestly, in high school, what do? You get in trouble, right? And then you go to college and you party. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to work. So at 16, I dropped out of school. I surrounded myself with successful people. I was just a good follower. If you had what I wanted, I was going to watch what you did and copy you. I made my first million at the age of 24 by doing that, by going to these storms, cleaning them up. I'd work 6-7 months, make a lot of money, and come home and relax. Well, just like a lot of industries, that got flooded out. It got saturated to where there was no more money involved. So I found myself looking for something different. I had opportunity to buy a gypsum mine in Dominican Republic, and I went on it. And I invested my life savings in Dominican Republic. I moved there for about a year, was mining gypsum. Everything was going great until the economy, if you remember, 07, 08 started to turn. And I remember thinking to myself, you know, I made the right choice. I got out of the country just in time. The problem was my investors had a construction company that was being affected by the economy. So in August of 09, my investors pulled out. So in August of 09, I came back to America with a suitcase full of clothes. I lost my house. I lost my car, literally started my life from scratch. And the only reason I share that story with you guys is because everyone on this Zoom, we know people that got hit by the economy in 07, 08. And there's people on the Zoom that we know still haven't recovered. And that is why I love about Lifevantage. That's what I love. It's what drives me. It's my passion. I'm going to talk to you guys for a little bit tonight, but I'm not going to talk from theory or what could be. I'm going to tell you how it is and what the possibilities are. November of 2009, my brother-in-law, Brandon Cunningham, said, listen, come to my house. Let's talk business. And guys, you got to realize the time of your life broke. I didn't have anything. So I was open for anything. I come to his house and I watch this ABC investigative report, the one that all of you should have seen. If you haven't, as soon as we get off, go watch it. It's what makes us unique. It's what separates us from the world. But I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't understand half the stuff they were talking about. What caught my attention was this. If you watch the news, you know it's negative crap, and most of the time you shouldn't watch it. If you see investigative report on the top of the news channel, you know it's about to get juicy. I mean, they're there to bust a company, expose a person, expose a product. They're there for the juicy stuff. You don't see the camera of the news at the airport going, oh, look, another successful airplane. No, they're there for the trash. They're there for so anytime you see an investigative report, you're like, all right, someone's going down. And that's what I looked at. And here's what caught my attention is the scientists didn't just sit there and explain what this technology did. He didn't explain what this product did. He looked at John Quinones and pretty much said, okay, you're investigating me. Let me see your arm and let me draw your blood. Blood don't lie. I don't care what anybody says. You can't lie about blood. And they measured something called oxidative stress. And if you're like me, you didn't know what that was. But they measured his oxidative stress levels. They put him on this new technology for 2 weeks and it lowered 45%. That's what I saw. I saw results. I saw results with something that it was important enough for ABC News to go out and investigate. What I found out is oxidative stress, point blank, it's why we age. Disease happens because of oxidative stress. Heart failure, cholesterol, diabetes, it doesn't matter. The reason why we age, the reason why disease happens is oxidative stress. There's nothing you can do about it. There is no product. There is no juice. There is no exercise. There is no pharmaceutical drug. They know why we age. They know why disease happens. There's nothing to do about it. And I'm thinking to myself, holy cow. They just investigated this company because the claims they were making was absurd. And literally, I just saw a solution the medical world is looking for. And I look at my bro, I go, what does this have to do with me, bro? I don't even understand this stuff. And he goes, it's a solution the medical world's looking for. We got the solution with patents and exclusive rights. And we're first. The company's publicly traded. And I look at him and I go, dude, listen, who knows about this stuff? Because there's one thing I knew about business. I don't care how good of a product or service you have. If you've missed the growth expansion, you've missed the opportunity. And I look at him and I go, who knows about this? And he got this goofy little smirk on his face. He's like, me. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, dude. We've got the solution the medical world's looking for, and you're the only dude who knows about it. And he's like, yeah, pretty much. There's no one in Tampa. I'm the first guy. I'm like, I'm in. I called my girlfriend at the time. I'm like, listen, get all our money together. And the first time I called her, she started laughing because we had no money. And I was like, I'm not kidding. Get our money together. And she goes, the laughter went to tears. And she goes, if we do whatever the heck you're saying we're going to do, we're going to have $200 left to our name. And I go, if we don't change whatever we're doing in our life, we're going to stay broke, right? Everyone on here, you guys do know that, right? Whatever you're doing right now, if you want a different result, you have to do something different. You don't wake up tomorrow and your situation changes. It's a choice that you've got to make. And I knew where I was heading. I didn't want to be. The fact that I could partner with a publicly traded company with patents, science, exclusive rights. You ain't got to listen to High School Dropout, American Heart Association, Harvard, Duke, LSU. It was a no-brainer. So we left ourselves with $200 to our name. And what I appreciate about this opportunity is I didn't have to go to school. I didn't have to read a book. I followed a system that was already in place. I got that down pat. All I know how to do in life is follow people. So I followed the people that had what I wanted, and that was time and money with their family. And guys, the system was in place. Here's in a nutshell what we're doing. We're creating awareness about where medicine's heading. That's it. We get to be a part of creating awareness. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, guys. We live in a world today that technology is changing every single day. Every single day, technology gets faster, it gets smaller, it gets sleeker. And as technology gets better, we adapt. I mean, we want the best available thing we can get our hands on. There's a reason why we use these things and not a pager and a beeper, right? There's a reason why you use Spotify and Pandora and you don't buy tapes and CDs, because times have changed and that technology is better, and that's what we want. Guys, in a nutshell, that's our opportunity. Our opportunity is we have technology in the next 8 to 10 years. Every single person you know, they're going to be using. It's not a question if your mom or your neighbor wants Protanum. In the next 8 to 10 years, the mindset of supplementing your body, it's going to be obsolete. Think about that for a second. What's causing the aging process? From the time you're born to 20, you age perfectly. You get bigger, you get stronger, you get healthier. What happens when your physical body stops growing at the age of 18, 19, 20, not only do you quit growing this way, but your enzymes quit doing their job. They're protective of your survival genes. They slow down, the protection slows down. And what happens is your body can't keep up with the oxygen we're taking in, the food that we're eating. Hence, oxidative stress starts building up. Hence, we start to age. It's why every single one of you at the age of 21 started taking supplements. At 25, you started taking more. At 30, you took a little bit more. At 50, you're on 20 of them. Because supplements are genius. They were designed to supplement where your body is deficient, right? Our technology, we're not here to say that supplements don't work. We know they work. We're here to say supplements were awesome. I'm here to just tell you we have a better way. I'm here to tell you this is where technology is heading. Our products do not supplement the body. Our products activate the body. Think about that for a second. As great of products there are out there that do tons of things for you, I don't care how good or strong it is, there is nothing you could put in the body as powerful as what's there. We have biohacked the body. We have broke the mold. We have figured out how to make the body work to its full potential. In essence, and what's happening is we're lowering oxidative stress. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to the person inviting this call. American Heart Association. I mean, let's think about the process. The same people, every single one of you put your livelihood in the hands of for a fact. I mean, let's think about it. If you have chest pain, what do? You call 911 and you hope the ambulance hurries up and you hope the ambulance gets you to the hospital as soon as possible. And you hope to see a cardiologist as soon as possible. They check your heart, they check your levels. The cardiologist goes, Michelle, this is what you need to do. Michelle's going to do whatever that cardiologist says to do, right? Right. I know you're saying yes right now, okay? That cardiologist learns everything from American Heart Association, from the journal Circulation. So don't listen to the person that invited you on this call. Listen to people you put your livelihood in the hands of, because they didn't just spend millions of dollars researching our product. They put their reputation on the line with this stuff. Again, you don't have to listen to Lifevantage. You don't have to look at that there's a business model behind it. The same people you put your life in the hands of have said, you know what, this does lower oxidative stress. This is the way of the future, and we're going to put our stamp on it. Their name is on it. They don't get paid to say we work or we don't work. So that's the exciting part is we on this phone, why your friends are so jacked up about getting you this information, is we don't have to wonder what this is going to do for you. The science is black and white, and it proves that it works 100% on every mammal tested. So here's the thing that caught my attention nowadays. 7.5 years in, Michelle's right. My passion is the product. My passion is an opportunity Because very rare, as technology changes, usually all of us on the phone, we're on the consumer side. We're the ones running to Apple, running to Verizon and getting a new phone. We want the best available thing. Did any of you ever hear about Uber before it was Uber? Did any of you ever hear about Facebook before it was Facebook? I know for a fact, every single one of you on the Zoom, if you had that opportunity, knowing what you know now, you would have sold your kids and it would have been a good investment. You would have sold your house and lived in a tent and that'd have been a good investment. Guys, this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about freaking social media. We're not talking about communication. We're talking about health. We're talking about aging. We're talking about the National Institute of Health saying this is the only technology in the world that they have found to extend health, and no one knows about it. And all we are doing is telling our friends and family about a product they're going to be on anyway. And the flip side to it is, guess what else has changed? I think that's enough about product. I think if that haven't spiked your interest, you know, I don't know what it's to tell you, but there's a lot of other things changing, right? Not only is technology changing, but our economy is changing because of technology. I mean, think about this concept. 30 years ago, when your cousin Joe got fired, you called cousin Susie, like, dang, what'd Joe do? Joe did something wrong if he got fired, right? I mean, 30 years ago, if you got fired, you just weren't doing your job. Well, now we see it on Facebook all the time. Technology, Facebook. You see Joe went to work and he ain't got no job. Susie went to work and they ain't got no job. Why? Because technology is changing and it's doing away with people's jobs. The concept is broke. Go to school, go to college, find a career, retire. Even though you don't like hearing it, where's that path taking us? The path is taking us on a process that's broke. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You're going, well, I know, you know, Mr. Joe down the street's got a big old house and a big old car, and that system worked for him. Well, big old Joe went through his whole life living for the weekends. And if you want to go through your whole life living for the weekends, just keep on trucking. But here's an opportunity that you can control your finances, control your time, and create residual income. They didn't teach that in school. You know why? Because there's no such thing as residual income in traditional business. It's work hard, make money, have no time. I mean, think about that concept. The people you know that have money, if they have money, they have no time to enjoy it. And the people you know that have time, they're broke. I mean, they don't go hand in hand unless you can create residual income. So the beautiful part about this opportunity is we just have an opportunity to position ourselves. That's the opportunity. It's a position before the masses, position before your cousin Susie down the street knows about it. Michelle said it, 70,000 people in the world know that there's an opportunity that you can take an all-natural product that works 100% on every male tested to slow the body from aging. The FDA says this technology slows cellular aging. Guys, you don't have to have a degree to figure this stuff out. It's pretty simple. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, this is just too good to be true. And I'm going to just tell you this right now. There was a day they said no airplanes would ever fly in the air. And I don't know if you know, but those suckers fly every single day. Okay? So times are changing, and it just so happens that you have an opportunity to position yourself in the biggest transition that's ever happened in medicine. Guys, I've got about 500 doctors in my organization. I ate lunch with one of them today that has over 3,000 patients on his product. And I tell you what, it still gives me goosebumps when you have a doctor that's practiced medicine for 35 years. By the way, he's now sold his practice because of Lifevantage, and he works 4 hours a week just because he loves his patients. He doesn't want to cut that off. But Lifevantage literally has been able to, he's not working. And you know what? If you see him, he's smiling every single day because he's living life. But it blows my mind to hear a person like that. I've known him for 7 years. We've built a great relationship, one of my best friends. And to hear him talk about people don't understand that this really is where things are heading. Insurance is changing. The way that practicing medicine, think about it, practicing medicine. I mean, that's what doctors do. I love them. We couldn't be here without them, but they're practicing medicine. They learn how to treat a disease or put a Band-Aid on it. We have a solution, and that's what we're so fired up and excited about. So guys, I'm going to tell you, here's why I'm excited for you guys on this Zoom. Maybe you're hearing for this first time. I know that majority of people in life, actually, a fact is 75% of people live paycheck to paycheck. You know how bad that stinks? I mean, what stinks is the majority of people have settled for that crap. They've justified their life as okay But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, when we start talking money, and there's big money, I'm just going to be blunt and tell you there's big money, as big as you want. But most people that get uncomfortable talking about money are the ones that are worried about, oh, this bill's due and this check ain't cleared. I mean, there's 75% of Americans that are going, wait a minute, is this check going to clear before this bill's due? Guys, if people are going through life letting money control them, I'll be the first one to tell you, money does not make you happy. But I'm going to tell you what, being 36 years old and being able to raise your kids and enjoy life and do what you want, when you want, with who you want, that's life. I mean, why did you get married? Why did you have kids? To provide for them? I'm going to tell you right now, network marketing has opened my eyes to a new way of going through life. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're sitting here going, all the science makes sense, the time makes sense, but it's network marketing. I'm just going to tell you right now, network marketing is the fastest growing industry because people are realizing that you can control your finances and you can control your future if you make the choice. I'm just going to tell you how I do things. If you ask your friends are going to tell you, oh, those things don't work. Well, I'm just going to say your friends don't pay your bills or give you more time with your family. I'm just going to tell you how I am. Majority of my friends said I was crazy and stupid. I can't believe I was doing one of those things. The same people that have to, oh, wait, probably going to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. I don't. But the difference is this. I just did my own research. I didn't even know what network marketing was. But here's what I found out, and you should know this, that today, right now, there's companies doing $1 billion, with a B, $1 billion a month selling detergent and soap. And I don't know if you know this, but you can get that stuff anywhere. There's companies right now doing $8 billion a year with makeup. I don't care what your friends and family think. You can take detergent and soap and do $1 billion a month. You can take a pink Cadillac and makeup and do $8 billion a year. It works. That concept works. Here's what's never happened in this industry. Never is what happened in this industry is you have a company in this industry that's obviously proven to work that has exclusive rights with a product that you can't go get a prescription for. You can't go to your pharmacy and get. You can't get anywhere else. Never happened before. So you've got a business model that's proven with a product that is unique that every single person you know is going to be using. Never happened before. Let me just tell you how my brain works. If you can do $8 billion a year with makeup, they're doing it right now. And probably most of you women on here don't use Mary Kay. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If Mary Kay had exclusive rights on makeup, and that was the only company for you women to be able to put a face on with, every single one of you would use it. They wouldn't be doing $8 billion a year. They'd probably be doing $100 billion a year. That's the difference of having exclusive rights. And that's what we have at Lifevantage. So I'm going to close with this, guys. Majority of people go through life and they let risk pass them up or opportunity pass them up because of risk, because of the fear of the unknown, because of what my fins through. You know, what if I try something and I fail? You know, might get laughed at. You know, what if I take time away from my family and that might fail? You know, the risk keeps people paralyzed. Even though they're not happy in the situation, the fear of change, the fear of failure, the fear of being uncomfortable, it just keeps them uncomfortable. Because majority of people, if you sit down and really talk to their life, going through life, living for the weekends, I mean, heck, they've named Wednesday Hump Day. Ain't freaking Hump Day. There's 7 days a week to live life. Wednesday is not Hump Day. But that's just perception. That's just what people have justified. I'm just going to tell you this. I agree. There is some risk when it comes down to business and opportunity. Here's what I love about this opportunity for every single one of you guys. Is a very simple concept. 7.5 years ago when I saw this, there was enough pieces of the puzzle that went together. I said, you know what? I need to move forward and go ahead and do this. The only missing piece of the puzzle was me. 7.5 years later for you, the only missing piece, there is no missing piece. We're at $200 million in sales in 7.5 years. Are you kidding me? The Amways and the Mary Kays I just talked about, they didn't grow that fast, but look where they're at now. So we're on track to be a legendary company in the multi-billion-dollar range, mainly because we're building a solid foundation. We're not building off a hype or sex appeal. A lot of these other companies, we've got a real product. We've got real science. We're the boring company. We're the boring company that's slowing aging. But we've got all the science that no one can dispute. It is what it is. Hey, I'm going to tell you this. I like being boring, but I also like being first, and I also like being a part of history. Every single person you know is going to be taking our products. They don't know about it. I'm going to leave you with this. there's an essential pack you need to get on. Every single one of you, either you join us in this business, you take advantage of opportunity, or you order the essential pack right now. You'd be crazy not to spend $120 with free shipping. Here's what a multi-billionaire that swears he's going to live to 150, he's not a part of our company, a world-renowned scientist, he said there's 3 things, and these are 3 secrets to living long. I'm going to close with this. He said the health of your gut. Your gut is your well-being. Part of that essential pack, we've got a probiotic that rebuilds the lining of your stomach. The second thing he says is the health of the mitochondria. Our NRF1 activating product, it activates the NRF1 pathway, produces the mitochondria in your body. The third thing he said to control inflammation. Well, our first product, Protandim, the ABC video, it activates NRF2, which is a cell-producing product that activates your anti-inflammatory system. Wait a minute. Now you understand why we're so excited, because no other company is saying this. You got Estee Lauder putting press releases out saying, you know what? We're going to start formulating a skincare line that activates NRF2. The very next sentence says, like the company Lifevantage. Well, guess what, baby? You can, because we've got patents on that too. So guys, all I'm going to tell you is this. Take control of your future. Take control of your health. Get back with the person who invited you. And don't be that person that goes, oh, I heard about that. I thought it was going to be huge, but I didn't take advantage. I'm going to tell you one thing in life. You can't go back in time. Time's the only thing you can't control. Every single one of you have an opportunity to be a part of this multi-billion dollar industry, and you can have as much of it as you want. So, Michelle, I've actually got to jump off and do another Zoom. But thanks for the invite. I love you guys. You know I've got your back. And I'm excited you guys are part of this company because we're having a fun journey building this thing.
Amen. Oh my gosh, I got several texts, Fred. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. The energy, the passion, the excitement. I'm sitting here with pages of notes myself. I don't know if you guys heard him say solutions. How many times did he say that we have a solution? We have a massive solution. We do have a better way, and the better way is on the health side. It is on the financial side. Go ahead. Thank you. Biohack. If you guys, you're going to be hearing these words more and more out there in the media. Biohacking. People are biohacking. I was at a Tony Robbins seminar not too long ago, and there was a gentleman on stage, and his entire presentation was about biohacking your body. And guess what else he said in his presentation? He talked about mitochondrial dysfunction and how to strengthen the mitochondria, which Fred just mentioned our NRF1 product does. He talked about oxidative stress and how that's known to be the root cause of disease. Well, guess what? Our NRF2 Protandim fights that, as Fred said. I heard a gentleman, Dr. Mark Hyman, who I followed for years at the same seminar, talk about glutathione and how we need to activate and get our glutathione working in our body. Well, guess what? Protandim increases that on its own up to 300%. That is massively huge. It's the mother of all antioxidants. People talk about it all over the world in the health side. He talked about supplementation becoming obsolete, Protandim activating. He talked about making history. 6 years ago, there was a video that came out with Lifevantage and with Protandim in there, and it talked about, you know, the airplane, and it talked about the cars. And let me tell you, Dr. Joe McCord, the man behind that ABC investigative report that you saw, won a medal called the Elliott Crescent Medal, a medal like Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, and Henry Ford. Those are the cars, that's the airplane, right? Every time I get into the airplane with my husband, Shawn, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. Protandim is it, you guys. And he talks about a better way, you guys. My husband used to have to go to work every single week for months on a early Monday morning or late on Sunday night. And his oldest daughter, our oldest daughter, would say to him, Daddy, don't go. Please don't go. And it was hard. And he would come back Friday night, early Saturday morning. And it was hard. It was really hard. And guess what he was having to do? He was going out to New York, learning the jobs of the people out there in New York to bring them and to lay them off in New York, and then come back to Sioux Falls and teach them how to do those jobs. And then also in Sioux Falls, he had to lay off a bunch of people here, and that was hard. So because of Lifevantage now, Shawn and I are able to be at home for over the last 5.5 years with each other, planning our schedules around our kids, so that they don't have to say, please don't do that again. Please don't leave again, Daddy, please. And so get back to the person that invited you here tonight. We have an absolute gift that you have been given. you're here for a reason. And we are so glad that you took the time out of your busy night and your schedule. And we'll see you later. Thank you again for joining us. Good night.